Ordinarily, it is difficult to move to a new country. Now, not just moving to a new country to start your school, to start your studies, or whatever, it is even more difficult if you're moving to a country that has their culture, way of life, everything is almost different from what you're used to. So now, if you're a Nigerian student moving to Ghana, you wouldn't face so much challenges adapting to the society and all that, because for all we know, we Nigeria and Ghana, we share a lot in common. But if you're moving all the way from Nigeria to the UK, to France, to Germany, or to any other European country, or even the America, like it's pretty difficult to really adapt to the society. And so, from my own experience and the experiences of my friends, I bring you a video today on how to help you adapt into this new society as you arrive UK, as you arrive Europe in general to start your studies. This video is just dedicated on the steps and essential things you just need to do to take in order to put yourself, your life, your academics on track as soon as possible. If this sounds like what you want to hear, please keep watching this video. So if you watched up to this point, it means you're interested in what I have to say. It's good to know that people are interested in what I have to say. So before I get into the main issues, trust me, I need to start from the basics. Like I need to really highlight it. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is, please, immediately you arrive, get your SIM and ensure that at every point in time you have data on your phone. That being said, the next thing you need is to download some of these call apps. Like, see, if you're calling from there with an European SIM, it's pretty expensive to call home with an European SIM. Like, it's really expensive. And if you say you want to maintain your Nigerian SIM card and all that, trust me, by now MTN, if you're Nigerian, by now MTN is already sending you subscribe, buy 15k airtime for how many minutes call and all that. See, it's not sustainable. It's really expensive. If you want to call from there back home, you want to call your families and all that, it's really expensive. So the thing you need to do, download call apps. I know my friend uses one she calls VoIP. For me, I use Tesco International Call. She uses VoIP, and there are a lot of them. Like, it's cheaper, like very cheap to call with these apps. You just subscribe them. Some of them you just pay £3 or £5, £20, like, and you use it to make call for a very, very long time. Like the call minutes or whatever they call it. Like it's a good one. So what I would just basically say, try and get those apps. Like really important. Trust me, you can't be able to maintain calling with an European number. It's not possible because they're gonna cut your neck. You'll be spending like £50 before you know it. You'll be spending like 50, £60 in a month, like on top of call only, even more than that. So you don't want to do that. So the next thing I want to talk about is open a good bank account. Hey, open a bank account that is good. I know, yes, as Erasmus students, like maybe scholarship students and all that, you already know that you're going to open a bank account, but you need to be aware of the bank account that is most suitable for you as a student. Please beware. They have, regular traditional banks and they have online banks and all that. Regular traditional banks in their different countries, online banks like Monzo, Revolut, and other ones like TransferWise and all that. Try to open the one that you know that is good for you, for what you want. There are some banks that charge you every month just to maintain your accounts. I don't think as scholarship students you want to do that. Try to find, and then there are others that would not charge you, but rather if you use their cards, they give you some form of cashbacks and all that. Try to find out about the cashbacks, student benefits from these different banks, because it will not be nice when as a student you finish, getting a bank account and then every month they're charging you for holding a bank account with them. Like, calculate it in, hey, let's say they're charging you £1 in a year is like £12. So In 2 years, it's 24 pounds. They have eaten your 24 pounds. Trust me, you don't want that. Like, seriously. So, try to open banks that you can easily use to make transfers across countries and all that. For me, my bank accounts, my number one go-to bank account, I have Monzo, I have Revolut, and I have TransferWise. Like, I merge these three together, especially because for one thing or the other, I would need to make international payments and international transfers. And with these banks, it enables me to make these things sharp, sharp, and before you know it, the money is just arriving. I don't need to do too much talk. The money is just going and coming, going and coming. I don't need to do too much talk with, regular bank transfers and all the charges that comes with regular bank transfers. Please, you don't want to do that. So basically, all I'm saying, get the bank that is of your choice that would offer you student benefit and student discounts. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing with this pen, but basically what I'm just saying, yeah, try to get an account, a good one that would come with student benefits. Some of them give cashbacks. That's like if you pay with your cards, anything, they'll give you some money in returns, like they'll give you some of your money back and things like that. So just try to find out. You grab. The next thing I want to talk about is find a group. As Africans, like as Nigerians, we are already used to, being in communities. Like we 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 being in communities, having community, a group of people that you are always with, hanging out with, like a group of people you always have something in common. We are already used to that, like as Nigerians. As most of you already know, most of my subscribers are Nigerians, like we're already used to that. So it's important that as you go there, like life is quite different. So it's important you try to quickly find, a group of people, your community you would always, hang out with. This community could be community of Nigerians, it could be community of Africans, it could be community church groups, it could be other communities in general. But try to find a community that have something in common with you. It could be religious groups and all that, a Christian church, and it could just be your school association of Nigerian students. Because why I say this, it's always important that if you move to a new country, there are challenges you would face that ordinarily somebody who is from there or who is from Europe might not face the same challenge or see it as a challenge. But for you moving all the way from Nigeria to Europe, it's it's a big deal. First of all, you would have challenges with the weather. Trust me, you're going to have challenges with the weather. You're going to have, for me, like I had a lot of challenges with the weather, and so it's easier for a Nigerian to quickly tell you what they did to quickly adjust to it. A whole lot of things. They share our experiences. They know these things. Then you might have challenges with the food. It might be difficult for you to adapt to the food there. And so if you have this community, it's easier for them to tell you, there's an African store here. You can go to this African store. Or they will tell you, this African store is cheaper. You can go to this African store. That's why we talk about these communities and all that. And also some of these communities, they teach you things you need to know about the environment you are in, the community you are in. Let's say you are in Glasgow, they teach you things about Glasgow. They help you find your stand in Glasgow, where to buy cheap things, where to buy affordable things, where to buy this, where to buy that. They give you that sense of community, and they inform you about this. So it's always important to find a group that you belong to, that you can easily fit in, because hey, trust me, you need it. You need it in this life, because there are some times, hey, they are the only ones that can understand what you're facing. They are the only ones. Sometimes they are the only ones that can understand what you're facing. So you need that group. Another thing I want to talk about is you need a friend. Really important. So I said you need a community. Yes, things sometimes maybe you need to rant, or you need to tell somebody something, like you need to know about your community, and you need to find some information. But trust me, you need a friend that you can tell some specific things. There are things you might not just want to share. Let's say a group of Nigerian students in your school, there in your university, they have an association. There are things you don't just want to share in the group and be like, okay, where can I get this, or I'm having challenges with this. So you need a friend that you could just tell some of those things to, that would understand you and all that. So it's important you try to find a friend, because trust me, you need it. Sometimes you need to rant about some things. These friends, I'm happy that some programs have 2 Nigerians or 3 Nigerians. So it's important. You guys are gonna be in the struggle together. Like you guys are gonna be in the struggle together. So it's I think that makes it easier for you. If you're like more than 1 Nigerian on your program, 2 or 3, it makes it easier for you. But if you're just the only one, and especially if you're in a city that has this little community of black people, trust me, you need a friend. You need a friend, because a lot of times, hey, you need to rant and you need to say a lot of things and you need to adjust. There are things you cannot just type on the group of your your church group and things like that, but then you can just quickly chat with your friend. Sometimes you just need to express yourself. Sometimes you will miss home, you will miss this Nigeria, and you will need somebody to discuss about Nigeria with. And this person might be the only one that can understand, that would understand that people would gist about Nigeria, gist about how you miss banga soup and starch, ogbono soup, and what's it, gari abeba. Trust me, you need that. Anyways, I shall just hope that you got what I'm saying in particular. Yes. Now, for some countries, if you arrive in any city, you might need to do some city registration or police registration and all that. So the next thing I'm just talking about is this police registration or city registration in general. So you need to do that. It's important that immediately you arrive, you do those registrations and get yourself registered as a resident of that community or that city in general. It's important to do that. Another thing I also want to talk about is hey, you need to register, do your medical, is it GP registration or medical registration? Yeah. So some countries will require you to do GP registrations and things like that. For the UK, yes, you need to do GP registration. For Ireland, the same thing and all that. It's important you do those registrations because as students, you might need some health care or wanting, you might need some drugs for some issues that you might encounter, and so it's important you get yourself registered, because if you're not registered, you would have to pay for it. And yeah, so that's why it's important you get yourself registered. And if you're paying by yourself, respect yourself and go and register. Let me start telling you now, respect yourself and go and register, because if you don't register, you're gonna pay money. Shall just hear me, I've said it. So you just need to get yourself registered in a medical center. So another thing I want to talk about is for those who would want to work in Europe, or just generally, yes, especially those who would want to work in Europe, is getting your work permits. So for the UK, I think it's called NI number. Yeah, I think it's called NI number, and then other countries have their own. So if you would want to work in Europe, if you want to work in the UK, you need to get that work permit. Like for the UK, it's NI number, and you need to make applications for it. And I think it takes about 1 month or so to arrive. Is it 1 month or maybe more than that to arrive? So that will give you the permission to work, which ordinarily your visa has accorded you. But it's like, should I say like a confirmation that hey, you can now work, something like that. Yeah, so for those of you who would want to work, you need to get that your NI number. You need to get it. It's a really important. Anyways, the next thing I would want to talk about is getting your monthly bus ticket. Like, it's cheaper. Like, I cannot overemphasize it. It is cheaper to get monthly bus tickets, train tickets, or whatever it is called. Like, from my experience, it is cheaper. And for countries like Czech Republic, if you're under 26, which sadly I can't qualify for, if you're under 26, you would get your monthly bus ticket. What you would pay would be half of what other people would pay for their monthly bus ticket. So you need to utilize this, like capitalize on it, get your monthly bus tickets, because if you're paying every single time, you're going to be spending a whole lot of money. So it's important you get to know about this, get your monthly bus tickets, and it is cheaper for you. Voila. It's cheaper for you to like really travel. Another thing I want to say is don't forget to register on uni days. Hey, uni days is gonna save your life from a whole lot of things. Yeah, so uni days, I think I'll put it here. So uni days is basically a student, should I say student assistance website or something, but majorly it gives students discount just to help you reduce your cost as a student. I don't know why I'm still holding this pen. Yeah, so basically that's what it does, helps you reduce your cost as a student. and just help you minimize anything you are buying. So you got to register with it, and it requires your school email address to register. I think it's all around Europe. Yeah, but I used my University of Glasgow email address to open my Unidays account, and I get some discount, 10%, maybe above 10%. It just depends, it just varies. So it would help you if you're buying something, like let's say you're buying a MacBook, which is about, let's say, £1,800. Let's just use that figure for example, and you get 10% discount. That's like £180. Like, that's a lot. Sometimes more than that. Me, I think I received like £200 discount or so. That's a lot of money. That's a whole lot of money. So don't forget to register on Unidays. Another thing I would want to say is study your map. Hey, study how the Google map works. Like, hey, study how it works and how it's being synchronized with, the buses that are picking up from every single location, and the trains and all that. Study it very well. Like, an example is that you can have a particular train. It's going to it's headed to the same location and all that, but there's a specific one that might say it will follow through a different route and something, and then you gotta enter another one. Hey, you're gonna oh god, I don't want to just talk about my experiences, how the same bus going to the same location had to pass through a different routes, and the end point of the bus, that's not where I was going to. I was going to a place before that end point, and this one took a different turn entirely, and now finding myself in a different place. I had to start coming back, doing this one, doing that. So it's really important that you find out how you study the map very well, and know how it's being synchronized with the different buses, bus numbers, the different trains and all that. It will save you a whole lot of entering and coming down from train and getting lost anyhow. Study it very well. If I meet somebody, let them teach you. Do you grab? Please don't get missing like me anyhow. And then finally, what I want to say is always ask questions. Like, ask your flatmates questions, ask your colleagues questions. Like, in my place, they say onya juju anefuzo. That's somebody that asks questions a lot about things. You can't just get missing. I don't literally mean that, but anything you do not understand, anything that you don't quite understand how it works and things like that, ask questions, and people will be ready and willing to respond to you. So basically, that's what I'm saying. Ask questions from your coordinators, from your flatmates, from your landlord. Ask questions, ask people questions. If you get to a bar, maybe a place where you would want to have lunch and things like that, and then you see the name of something, it sounds familiar to what you've been having in Nigeria or what you've been having in Ghana, my brother, my sister, you might be shocked and surprised at what you would get. So it's important you always ask questions. So when you ask these questions, they will clarify you. Okay, no, maybe it's not exactly what you how you envisage the food to be. Like, they will tell you what's in the food and things like that, and you're good to go. Ask questions at every point in time. Don't forget that. So guys, especially to you that have arrived, and those of you preparing to arrive in Europe for Erasmus Mundus scholarship or for any other scholarship, I hope this video helps you. I wish you the very best, and just keep me updated. Tell me the part of this video which you love the most. If you've had issues in any part of this video, maybe you've gotten lost before because of Google Map, or because you do not have data on your phone like me, please write it in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up, and share it to your friends. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.